Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has lauded the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, for the recently rehabilitated 36-kilometer dualized Owerri-Olu road and the first phase of the 53-kilometer dualized Owerri-Okigwe road. The president gave his commendation when he inaugurated the reconstructed and refurbished Imo House of Assembly complex in New Owerri along Port Harcourt Road, Owerri. Speaking in Amaraku, Isiala Mbano Council area, the president commended the Imo State governor for his efforts towards the development of critical infrastructure in Imo State. He also called on Imo people to keep faith with the governor and promised his firm support for the government and the people of the state. Thanking the president in his remarks, Governor Hope Uzodinma had noted that but for the prompt intervention of President Buhari, bandits and hoodlums would have overrun his state. The Federal High Court in Abuja has permitted the Department of State Services, the DSS, to detain a former terrorist negotiator Tukur Mamu for 60 more days. Justice Nke Onye Maha gave the permission on Tuesday while granting an ex parte motion moved by the counsel for the DSS, Ahmed Magaji Mamu, one of the leading negotiators for the release of victims of the train attack in Kaduna State, was arrested in Cairo, Egypt, at the international airport on his way to Saudi Arabia for the Lesser Hajj. The DSS had accused Mamu of aiding and abetting acts of terrorism and shares information with terrorist groups, resulting in the escalation of bandit attacks in the country. The security agency alleged that Mamu had used the cover of his profession as a journalist to aid both local and international terrorist groups, and he was on his way to an international terrorist summit before being intercepted in Egypt. The Court of Appeal Abuja has reserved judgment on an appeal filed by the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, seeking to quash the terrorism and treasonable felony charge preferred against him by the federal government. The IPOB leader, who is currently facing trial before the Federal High Court, Abuja, had approached the Court of Appeal to query the legal competence of the charge pending against him. He is praying the court to review the April 8 ruling of the trial court, which struck out only 8 out of the 15-count charge preferred, insisting that the charge the federal government entered against him had no basis in law. Kanu is also urging the appellate court to order his release on bail pending the determination of his appeal. Former Deputy Senate President Tukur Mamu is asking the Federal High Court Abuja to dismiss the suit by David Ukpo seeking to stop the release of his biodata to a London court in the alleged organ harvesting case. In a counter affidavit, Tukur Mamu has said Ukpo has no basis to entertain any fear in the release of his visa application information and his bank account opening package, except if he had lied on his real age. In a counter affidavit, Tukur Mamu also denied the allegations that he demanded Ukpo's biodata. At yesterday's proceedings, Ukpo's lawyer, Ojonungwa Oguche, had prayed the court to adjourn the matter for him to react to the counter affidavit. The request was granted and the matter fixed for the 20th of September for hearing by Justice Inyang Edem Ekwo. And to other matters, this Wednesday morning, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to reverse the no work, no pay policy on the striking academic staff union of universities' lecturers. According to a statement made available to the press in Abuja by coordinator of NANS Southwest, Emmanuel Olatunji, the association had made this known during a protest on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Tuesday. NANS also called for the resignation of the Minister of Education, Mr. Adamu, over the lingering strike embarked upon by the ASUU. Speaking with reporters, the NANS Vice President, External Affairs, Akinteye Babatunde, said the blockade will continue in different locations until the federal government resolved the impasse with the lecturers. In political matters, the People's Democratic Party National Chairman, Dr. Iyorchia Ayu, will leave Nigeria for Europe today, Wednesday, according to a release issued and signed by his special advisor, Media and Communications, Simon Imoboswam. Iyorchia Ayu will be out of the country for about 2 weeks. While away, the Deputy Chairman North, Ambassador Ilya Damagul, will act in his capacity. He said the national chairman has already communicated the handover to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Iyorchia Ayu, according to the release, is expected back at the end of the month. And as part of security measures, the Ondo State government has placed an order banning night clubbing across the 18 local government areas of the state. The Ondo State government also banned the operation of commercial motorcycling, better known as Okada, in the state. This was contained in a statement issued by the special advisor to the state governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, on security matters, Akogun Adeleye. Yesterday in Akure, the statement further noted that with the latest order, nightclubs would close operations by 12 midnight, while commercial motorcycles will operate between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. daily. The statement further stressed that the determination of the Akeredolu-led administration to ensure the protection of lives and property of the people of Ondo State remained top priority. And still in the southwest, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has ordered removal of all abandoned vehicles parked indiscriminately on the bridges across the state. Special advisor to the governor on transportation, Shola Giwa, who disclosed this week during an emergency meeting with stakeholders held in Ikeja, said the governor had also declared zero tolerance for environmental abuse, illegal and indiscriminate dumping of refuse, and defacing of the environment when he signed the executive order on traffic and sanitation. Shola Giwa appealed to owners of abandoned vehicles to comply, as the removal notice became necessary owing to security issues and attendant gridlock in identified areas such as Costain, Apapa, Aja, Lekki, amongst others. In his address, Mr. Bolaji Oreagba, General Manager, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, served a 7-day removal and compliance notice to owners of trucks and vehicles parked specifically under the Costain Bridge area. Lagos State Examinations Board has urged principals of public junior secondary schools to visit Education District Headquarters for their Basic Education Certificate Examination results, the BECE. Its director, Mr. Adebayo Orunsolu, in a statement yesterday, had disclosed that the state government had released the 2022 Basic Education Certificate results with immediate effect. He further implored principals of approved private junior secondary schools who participated in the examination to visit the board's head office at 254 Ikbaja Road, Agege, near the NYSC orientation camp for collection of results, whilst also noting that the resit exams for candidates who failed English, mathematics or both will hold on a tentative date of Wednesday, the 28th of September. Outside the country, tens of thousands of people cheered as William Ruto was sworn in as Kenya's president on Tuesday at a ceremony in the capital Nairobi following his narrow election win last month. Ruto hailed it as a moment like no other, adding that a village boy had become president. Defeated candidate Raila Odinga did not attend the ceremony. He earlier said he had serious concerns about his opponent's victory. William Ruto won the election last month with 50.5% of the vote to Raila Odinga's 48.8%. Foreign religious workers will no longer be eligible for work permits on permanent residency in South Africa. The country's Home Affairs Minister, Aaron Mosoledi, was appearing in front of a parliamentary committee investigating how controversial Malawian televangelist Shepherd Bushiri and wife Mary fled the country in 2020 while facing money laundering charges. a senior and 4 junior South African Home Affairs officials have been suspended for allegedly issuing the televangelist a residency permit. The minister also said that the investigation had been launched to determine how another evangelist, Nigerian Timothy Omotosho, who's facing a rape and human trafficking charge, acquired South African residency. King Charles III and Camilla, the Queen Consort, are in Northern Ireland as part of a tour of the UK. They met crowds at Hillsborough Castle ahead of a meeting with political leaders. In a speech, the new monarch says the Queen had great affection for Northern Ireland, whilst adding that his family felt its sorrows. In the meantime, the queue to view the Queen's coffin at St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh has been closed, while the Queen's coffin has been escorted out of the cathedral, headed to London. It will be taken to stay overnight at Buckingham Palace before moving on Wednesday today to Westminster Hall, where the Queen will lie in state for 4 days. A national minute silence has, in the meantime, been announced for 8 p.m. on Sunday, the night before the Queen's funeral in Westminster Abbey. And now a quick look at the business scene. The federal government has raked in 2.6 trillion naira from taxes and royalties paid by debtor international oil companies and other players in the extractive industry ecosystem since its membership of the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, the EITI. The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, Dr. Oji Ogbonnaya Oji, who made a disclosure yesterday at the Civil Society Engagement on EITI validation, said there exists a balance of $2.6 billion as of March 2022. While thanking the National Assembly for its support in achieving the feat, he warned recalcitrant defaulters to pay up as soon as possible or have all relevant anti-graft agencies swoop on them to recover the government's monies. While in sports, Real Sociedad have revealed Umar Sadiq will undergo surgery on his right knee Thursday. The Nigerian international sustained the injury in the White and Blues' 2-1 defeats to Getafe on Sunday night. Sadiq was diagnosed with a ruptured anterior cruciate ligament on Monday and is set to miss the remainder of the 2022-2023 campaign. The 25-year-old Nigerian linked up with Real Sociedad from another La Liga club, Almeria, on transfer deadline day. Liverpool last night claimed their first UEFA Champions League match win after a 2-1 defeat over Ajax. Barcelona's effort at a fight-back was futile as they lost 2-0 to Bayern Munich. FC Porto lost gravely by 4-0 in the hands of Club Brugge. Other results from a Tuesday night saw Sporting beat Tottenham 2-0, Victoria Pleasant lost 2-0 to Inter Milan, Bayern Leverkusen saw off Atletico Madrid 2-0, while Frankfurt defeated Marseille 1-0. And we'll wrap up with boxing. Anthony Joshua has accepted WBC champion Tyson Fury's terms for an all-British heavyweight fight come the 3rd of December and awaiting a response. According to his management company, Anthony Joshua was sent an offer by Team Fury suggesting a 60-40 purse split to the champion and a December fight date. The fight was agreed on Friday. However, the announcement was delayed owing to the death of the Queen last Thursday. Initial terms have been agreed, but Joshua is yet to sign a contract.
Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.